It was on 24th April 2013. The Rana Plaza factory in Bangladesh collapsed. 1,135 people died and 2,438 people were seriously injured. This serious accident is just one example of the cruel working and living conditions of many people working in the textile industry. Fashion Revolution Week takes place every year in April. It seeks to create awareness of our consumer behavior affecting textile workers in faraway countries through worldwide activities and events. In April 2021, Peter Weishad from the Fair Trade Initiative Saarland, who is an expert promoter for fair trade, along with the Fair Trade City of Homburg and the Fair Trade Saarpfalz district, invited Miss Melanie Streibelt, who is an educational consultant and puppeteer, with her puppet named Pection, for an online exchange. Various project activities relating to the Worldwide Fashion Week in April 2021 were carried out by many dedicated fair trade activists in Saarland. The topics were From the Cotton Field to the Store, Recycle Clothes and Minimize Your Wardrobe. Among the participants were Catherine Stuck, an English teacher at Christian von Mannlich High School, and Beata Roofing, a fair trade representative. Both are involved in the county partnership with Henrico County in Virginia, USA. As everyone was more than interested, it was decided to sustainably develop and continue the project further. Therefore, teachers from 2 continents with their students from Mills Godwin High School and Christian von Mannlich Gymnasium met online. An interview with an Indian textile producer was arranged by Peter Weishad and Shilpa Walia Wendland from the Fair Trade Saarland initiative. These facilitators provided the dedicated school pupils with information as well as shared some essential skills which the students required to dive deeper into this topic. As an introduction to this project, the students as well as teachers viewed the film The True Cost. Please take a look at the participants introducing themselves and talking about their motivation for taking part in the project.
Hello, my name is Yazin Groner. I'm 16 and I'm a student at Mills Godwin High School in the United States. When I first got into this project, I knew that I was interested in fashion, but I didn't know that much about the social issues or environmental issues of it. Through learning about fair trade and fast fashion, I hope to learn more so that I could promote awareness for these issues in the fashion industry. I can't wait to share what I've learned and hope that other people can get as much out of this as I did.
Hello, my name is Ria and I'm a junior at Godwin High School in Virginia. I'm 16 and I took part in this project because I truly wanted to learn more about the fast fashion industry and its effects on our global economy and environmental health. I also participated in this fashion project to learn more about fair trade certifications and ultimately raise awareness of the negative effects of the fashion industry.
Hi, I'm Sarah, I'm 16 and I'm from Germany. I'm a student at the Christian von Mannlich Gymnasium in Hamburg. I joined this project out of curiosity. I wanted to learn more about the fashion industry and where our clothes are made and who makes them. I also joined a project to raise more awareness to fast fashion. I think it's a really big issue that affects everyone and that more people need to know of.
Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm 16 years old and I'm a student in Germany. Sarah's the one who brought me into this fair trade project, and before the project I didn't really know the meaning of fast fashion or fair trade, but the more than Sarah told me and the more than I read articles about this topic, I realized that more people should know about it and that we need to do something against this issue, because the people who make our clothes work under really bad conditions and it's also not good for our environment. I personally love fashion. I like to dress up, and I always didn't really care where my clothes came from, but it's kind of changed through the years, because I started to look out for thrift or secondhand stores, but sadly in my area there aren't this much. So every time I'm going to a bigger city, I'm searching out for these kind of stores, and I hope to learn even more about fast fashion or fair trade and to educate more people about this topic through this project.
My name is Kristen Macklin and I'm a German teacher. I wanted to be part of this project because I wanted to learn more about the impacts of fast fashion. I was intrigued by this project because of its emphasis on global interconnectedness. The project gave our students from Germany and the US the opportunity to connect directly with a clothes manufacturer in India. This way they could become personally connected with the issue and learn firsthand about the impact that our decisions as consumers have on the lives of people across the globe.
Hi, my name is Joseph Ungerleiter. I'm a German teacher here in Henrico County, Richmond, Virginia. It's my pleasure to be a part of this international fair trade and fast fashion project. Not only does it have a great mission and talks about an important topic surrounding fair trade and fast fashion, it's also a way for our students to participate in this global world that we find ourselves in and the increasing globalization that we see around us. So the fact that I get to watch my students here in the US interact with students internationally and come up with a common goal and a mission to spread awareness of this important issue, it's exciting and it's great work. And I look forward to participating in more programs like this and spreading awareness of such an important topic. Thank you.
My name is Katrin Steck. I'm an English teacher. I wanted to be part of that project because I wanted to gain information about fast fashion, and I wanted to give motivation to the students to make this world a better place.
Dear Global Family, I'm Shilpa Valia Wendland and belong to the Fair Trade Organization in Saarland, Germany. Across 3 time zones, continents and cultures, I am working as a facilitator and coordinator for this unique, ethical, fast fashion project. Having Indian roots and being a team member of the Fair Trade Initiative Saarland meant that it was time for me to connect the dots between the consumers, the young consumers, and the fashion producers. Fair Trade Initiative Saarland is trying to create a platform for sustainable fashion innovation. Our mission is to bring together the entire ecosystem to rethink not only about how fashion is designed or made or worn, but also reused. Here, I would also like to take the opportunity to acknowledge and appreciate the time, effort, and the dedication which the students put in for this project. Now it's your turn. Let the clothes you wear be a symbol of a responsible and a conscious choice. So let the good be seen on you.
My name is Peter Weichert. Who made my clothes? As consumers, we have so much power to change the world by just being careful in what we buy. I want to initiate changes so that future generations in the countries of the global north treat and pay producers worldwide fairly. Together with many committed people from the Fairtrade Initiative Saarland, with which I've been involved for many years, we want to change the world. Through activities such as Fashion Revolution Week, our educational work in schools, e.g. our Fair Class campaign, and this Intercontinental project, we want to support that the world also changes for the better in the clothing sector.
My name is Beate. I'm working for the Pfalz County Administration. My personal motivation for the project was to get in touch with people about fair fashion, talking about all aspects of garment production, environment, climate crisis and consumption, and look to my own wardrobe what I really need. This in terms of hundreds of tons of second-hand clothes in Ghana and the Atacama Desert.
Excerpts of the interview. The long version is also available on YouTube.
Okay, so I will start. And the first question is to understand how a day in your factory looks like. I'm curious to know how many hours a day you work. So, how many hours you work in a day or in a week in the factory. So, for example, my parents work like 40 hours each week in Germany.
Right. So I'll tell you, we work longer hours here, not 40. We work 6 days a week, okay, not 5 days. And so most of the tailors, so we work about 10 hours a day, okay. The shifts are 8 hours a day again. And then, you know, for the next 2 hours that they work extra, we give them overtime, you know, so we pay them extra money.
In the US, the minimum wage is around $9 to $15. So we were wondering what the minimum wage is of the workers paid in India.
So that's a good question. So here the minimum wage is about 8,000, about $100, $100 a month. Okay, means for 25 days of working. Okay, for 8 hours of working. But most of our workers are, you know, minimum they start with about $200 because there is skills, you know, because there's a lot of skill required also. And our minimum salaries start from $150.
So in my life, I feel like clothes became a throwaway product to a lot of people because of maybe the lower quality and the low prices. And do you see it the same way? And in what ways do you see the fast fashion impacting society?
Stores. So one aspect is of course the consumer end. Now the second aspect is the fast fashion business models, like for example Zara and H&M. They rose, like their rise to success was incredibly fast and very financially lucrative because they employ, because the losses that you generally make while, you know, manufacturing these clothes are covered in the amount of clothes that you're making, the sheer production that you're going for. And of course, you can't ignore that it does provide livelihood to millions of people in these developing economies. So you can't really cut down on fast fashion. Like, you one day the brand just can't be like, you know what, we're going to stop producing from 5 seasons to 2 seasons, we're going to go from that. You can't, it has to be a gradual change, because while you're keeping in mind the environmental effects of it, which are really disastrous, you also need to keep in mind that you can't just put 1 million people out of jobs. You need to create jobs. So I would say the solution to it is basically creating I don't know if you guys are aware of the concepts of a circular economy or a recycling economy. So these are basically new concepts and solutions that are coming, where the garment that you dispose is basically brought into the supply chain again. It's made in such a way that it can be brought into the supply chain again, and you don't put a lot of pressure on virgin materials or new materials. So you're reusing the same materials. That way you ensure that people's livelihoods, people's jobs are not taken, and at the same time you're trying to mitigate the environmental effects of fast fashion. So that's one thing. And the second thing is that in terms of its impact on society, especially Gen Z is slowly is becoming far more aware than previous generations in terms of the environmental and the social impacts, especially in developed economies like Europe and the US. Like studies show that consumers want to know how their clothes are made, where their clothes are made. That's exactly why the four of you got into this project, because you wanted to know the conditions, you wanted to understand more about it. And there are technologies that are coming into place which can help consumers show. Like, for example, there is a solution that lets you scan a QR code on your garment, and it will basically show you everything that the garment has gone through. So there are various technologies that are coming in place to make the supply chain more sustainable and just basically an overall better place to work in. And of course, those changes are also like, one is from the consumer end, the other is also governments are cracking down on it like a lot, especially in Europe. As I'm sure you must be aware, the Dutch government, the German government, they have very, very strict laws in terms of what comes into their country, very simply put. So, and because the consumption, like for example, the clothes might be made in India, but they're being exported to the US and Europe. So they have to comply with the standards that are set there. So the push from the brands is immense, and that's when the changes in the manufacturing landscape will take place, because manufacturers by themselves cannot make these changes because they don't have the money to do it. They need support from the brands, and that's how it works. So it's basically a circle, I would say, where not it's not just one stakeholder, but everybody needs to push, kind of effectively stop fast fashion. There's not just one solution. You need to employ multiple solutions depending on the place, the supply chain, etc. So one is obviously thrifting, which has seen like a major uprise in the last 2 years, especially in the pandemic. Thrifting is basically reusing somebody's clothing. So let's assume I don't like this anymore. I can just give it away to a thrift shop, and somebody can just come in there and they can buy it if they like it. So that's basically what thrifting is: reusing clothes and swapping and borrowing, etc. There are some huge platforms that have come up, especially in the US. There is a platform called ThreadUp in the US, which is it's the biggest thrifting platform in the world. And yeah, so basically there are solutions like these that are coming back. Then, like my dad mentioned, there's the take back system, which brands have started. Even if you see, actually some of the fast fashion brands, they've also started doing this. H&M has this policy where you can come and give away your old and your garments that you want to discard, basically, and you'll get like a 10% or a 15% off. Now the problem is, what happens with all of this waste that is collected that ends up ultimately going to the landfill is it's directed to third world countries. And when it like there are multiple news articles that talk about it, where they basically first of all burn those clothes, which is obviously horrible on the environment. Or secondly, you might have seen schemes where it's like, yeah, donate your clothes, they'll go to poor or needy children in Africa, all of that, right? The thing is, they have their clothes, they don't need those clothes anymore. It's basically a scam that's used to make you feel good about buying your clothes again and buying their clothes again and again, and for them to just find an easy disposal or dump of their for their clothes, because the rules or the laws aren't as stringent over there.
Over the course of this project, I was able to learn a lot more than I had before about the fashion industry. I learned some of the issues that came with it in both social and environmental aspects, which I didn't know as much before. Before, I had only focused on stuff like fast fashion and the negative effects that it had on the environment, but I didn't know what was happening in factories and in the actual industry. This project really helped me to learn a lot more so that I could promote it in an effective and socially aware way.
This project has shaped my ideas surrounding fair trade and fast fashion in various ways. Not only did I learn more about the overall fashion industry and its aspects with production and marketing, I was able to gain a better understanding of environmental sustainability and fair trade as well. I hope more people understand the negative effects of fast fashion and fair trade certifications too.
So through the project, I learned a lot about the fashion industry and what impact it has on the society and the environment. I also got a much better understanding about the worth of our clothes, and I now think much more before I buy new stuff. I hope that people will be more aware where their clothes come from and who makes them, and stop seeing fashion as a throwaway product.
Through the project, I got another view on fashion and how to deal with it. Every time I go shopping, I'm only buying the things I really need and try to look out for fair trade or second-hand clothes. This project shows how fast fashion changes the world in a bad way and, more important, how to prevent that.
My hope is that by raising awareness of this issue, we can help others reflect on and ultimately change their buying patterns. I believe that many small decisions can have an impact. In general, we need to take the time to better understand the positive and negative aspects of globalization. We must advocate for safer and fairer working conditions around the globe.
There are many things that I hope to accomplish with this project surrounding fair trade and fast fashion. But one of the major things is spreading awareness in my community and the community in Germany. And I believe by spreading that awareness, a little bit can end up becoming a lot. So I've got this sign here. It's a proverb that says, little by little, a little becomes a lot. So I believe by spreading just a little bit of awareness in our communities, it can snowball and have a large effect and really affect our community at a greater scale. Thank you all.
It was a great experience to work on that project. To work with people from 3 continents was amazing, and I really enjoyed being part of that, and I'm very thankful to have that opportunity.
I'm really impressed by the results and the commitment of the students in the project, and I'm proud that they have persistently participated in the cross-continental project over a long period of time in their free time, and have brought the idea of a fairer world into the environment. I personally have learned a lot from the project, so thank you for that.
By discussing all backgrounds of our common international project, we review our own behavior. Fashion designer Vivian Westwood said, "Buy less, choose well, make it last." I would like to add, buy less, choose well and fair.
Now, the school principals from both the schools will introduce themselves and inform us about their motivation in being a part of the project.
Hello, my name is Lee Dunavant, and I'm the proud principal of Millsy Godwin High School in Henrico, Virginia, United States. It is my honor to participate in the Dare Saw Falls Christ program this year with you. What a wonderful partnership we've had for the past 25 years since 1997. I am so proud of our students this year for participating virtually in the exchange program and creating the International Fair Trade Fast Fashion Project. I look forward to many more years of working with you. Good luck to you.
Hallo zusammen, ich grüße herzlich nach überall hin und mit mir grüßt mein Freund Christian von Mannlich. Der ist schon lange nicht mehr auf der Welt, aber in Blau ist er noch bei uns. Mein Name ist Wolfram Peters, ich bin Schulleiter am Christian von Mannlich Gymnasium und wir freuen uns heute einen Gruß zu senden, einen Gruß an alle Schüler und alle Lehrer in den USA und bei uns, die am Projekt Fair Fashion School mitgearbeitet haben. Wir danken herzlich. Und wir hoffen, dass wir irgendwann nach dieser Zeit auch mal wieder uns echt sehen können. Nicht nur per Video, sondern mit Kontakt. Wir haben noch so schöne Erinnerungen an unsere Treffen bei uns hier in Deutschland, in Henrico County. Das war immer ein tolles Erlebnis für alle, die mitgefahren sind. Ob das jetzt die Lehrer waren, ob es die Schüler waren. Alle schwärmen noch immer davon. Und wir wünschen es so sehr, dass es wieder so sein kann und dass wir endlich diese Dinger wegmachen können.